as we are heading to Towers of Doom, and it is the Roll20 map choice.
Yeah, not surprising. Again, we expected Roll20 to pick Towers of Doom if they take map choice, and we expected the Bananas to pick Volskaya if it's their choice. So the Bananas go for the first pick. Towers of Doom. When do you ban Samuro?
First. Unless they want to play it themselves. Because I believe, if I remember correctly, back when he was on the original Granite roster, Ulf was the one who played Samuro for them, if I'm remembering correctly, where they used to bring out the Samuro quite a lot. So they could steal it.
I feel it's tough now, because from Roll20's perspective, Maiev seems to be the thorn in their side, where they're saying we're not going to let her through no matter what, so they're going to ban that out. Then if you're the Bananas, you mostly ban Medivh, Tyrande, Genji, a little bit of Abathur here as well. But if you're now having to sacrifice one of the early bans into Samuro, which one do you sacrifice? Which one do you potentially let through? I really feel that with the setup that they have, they can play around the Medivh.
I mean, the Medivh hasn't been let through, and also, interestingly enough, it hasn't been played at all by Roll20 this season, and they ban it every time.
It's again, it can be like what you're really afraid of, you know, when your opponent picks it up and you also don't know what they prepared for you. But even Tyrande, they could let her through and just say, listen, if we can dive her, we can burst their way. But yeah, this is it. Another Tyrande ban coming out immediately. So far, no ban against Samuro. Roll20, they learned the lesson in the previous game on Cursed Hollow, realizing that if they want to play Samuro, they have to pick it really early. That's exactly what they did. And there's the ban.
All right, completely understand that.
Leaving open the Dehaka and Abathur.
And Medivh.
Yes.
Which is what they were scared of. But like you said, the Abathur is a big issue. Holy Bananas. I don't remember... Yeah, they've never played Abathur on broadcasted games at least, or at least recorded ones. They have banned it 5 times.
They have Shad. Shad can definitely play...
Holy Bananas, though, they haven't
played
it
sorry.
yet.
Yeah, my bad. I thought you were talking about Roll20 here first.
No, Roll20 have definitely played it. They just mostly lose. Reina removed.
They have Shad, and they also have shown that they are willing to push Quacknix over into the support role now if need be. But yeah, there's the Reina ban. Reina has been a staple in the previous games for the Bananas. They picked him quite regularly if they needed an auto attacker. They played him on Battlefield, they played him on Infernal Shrines. And well, let's see. First pick for the Bananas. Are they focusing the Dehaka? Is it going to be the offlane?
Muradin. That is a weird first pick to me.
Yeah. I mean, take it away from Robot Doba, I understand that, but considering that you kind of want Dehaka,
you leave Muradin, you leave Muradin, you leave a Nubarak if you're worried about your opponents going for another burst comp. Like you said, you are giving up the potential for a global to your opponents.
That pick is a little bit weird.
It's very weird. A little bit's an understatement.
Muradin is great. It's great on the map, but now Dehaka is immediately picked by Roll20. I expected a Dehaka first pick.
And Genji as well coming in. It was terrifying in the last game. Chris did an absolutely amazing job.
I'm really curious what we're going to see from them now. I honestly expected a sideline at first pick. I mean, yes, you have other options, but it's about the global more so than anything else. So you now gave up Dehaka as a Malfurion.
Yeah.
Over Deckard Cain. And Phoenix. I have
wait.
I have a lot of question marks.
I have many question marks as well. Phoenix is usually paired with Deckard Cain because slows. Is this a setup for Tracer?
Could be. Like, I'm honestly wondering what's happening here, because that is very, very different from any priorities on heroes that we have seen so far in the series. There's no URL being picked, there's no offlaner just now. You allow Roll20 to ban an offlaner out, which is what they do. They ban out Blaze.
And what are we going to see from Holy Bananas? They already have the support, so they can just ban out Deckard Cain, which would be reasonable here. There he goes.
Could have banned a tank too, yeah, but it's Deckard Cain.
True. There's still Diablo, Garrosh, all the tanks are open. If they wanted more global, they could ETC.
I'm waiting for an X-Factor pick, to be honest, from the Bananas.
Yeah, there's got to be something. This draft, I hope this draft is going in a direction.
High Malfurion priority, banning out Deckard Cain. Roll20 still has a couple of options here.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Hanzo, a noob.
There's the Noob on the other side now. Hanzo, Arrow, a Noob for the engage.
All right, Bananas.
All right,
show us what you got. give us something special. I'm leaning towards Tracer or a mana-intensive mage, like a Chromie or something, a Chromie or a Kael'thas or something like that.
Yrel,
Tracer.
Okay.
All right, so I mean, Tracer come.
Yrel was, I think, an obvious pick after the Blaze ban and after the Haka's taken away from you. But yeah, so they go for the Tracer here. A lot of pressure, of course, in this game when you play Tracer to make sure that you're getting that damage in. And you have good targets. I mean, whenever you get onto Hanzo, for example, you can really make his life a living hell. What's the support that really negates that? Are they going to even... I mean, there are a couple, but wouldn't really... I mean, a go-to would have been even... We've seen a couple of Uther picks, but it's still a standard white main.
Standard white main indeed. A little bit more difficult to play against Tracer. Of course, if you get Inquisition on her, it's fantastic. It's great damage, it's slow, but Scarlet Aegis is a wind-up ability, so it is something the Tracer can actually play around and get a burst quick enough if white main's not in position. Or even on white main.
No. Okay.
Your thoughts?
No, I mean, if you want to go for the Tracer comp, I'm like fine with it. I'm still a bit surprised by the early priority for Murden. Then again, we have seen Robodova play the hero quite a bit, so you pick it away from them, limit the options a bit. But then Diablo was open too. Nubarak is now taken. You put a lot of pressure onto your Tracer player. Like, he has to be the one performing really well here. He needs to be the one getting the kills. But you have Yrel, which is great. I'm even a little bit surprised that Roll20 actually didn't ban Yrel. I really expected them to ban Yrel and leave Blaze open, but maybe they just feel that Olaf is not strong enough on Yrel. They lost now 2 games where Yrel was played on there, and maybe they really feel that when it comes to the side lane, this is one of the heroes where he doesn't impress them as much, and that's why they simply leave it open and say like, yeah, we've seen your Blaze games, and we don't want to go up against CC, so we're going to ban Blaze out, and then you're only stuck with her.
Well, we'll see if this works out for them as ladies and gentlemen trying to continue the reverse sweep. Jad is going to be playing that white main. Quacknix is on the Genji. Chris bringing out the Hanzo. Robodoba playing the Anubarak. And Zarmani is playing the Dahaka. They are Roll20 esports.
And in a series that so far is absolutely bananas, the Holy Potassium is starting to the right side. 3-2 in their favor. Olf on Yrel again. And here in game number 6, we see Gugursh on Phoenix. Guru on Tracer. A lot of pressure on his shoulders now. Juf on Malfurion. And Earth is playing Murden in this game.
Now, Tracer has been a hero that Guru has brought out before, and he is very well feared for it. For good reason. It was banned against him a lot during some of the Open Division games.
Well, he has time to prove how good he is on that hero, and he has time to do that right now. And if he can make the difference, it's going to be that ticket to HGC.
Yeah, is he going to be able to do it? We are finding out as the game begins. No early big hard engages from either of these teams. We're also seeing Arsenal synergy coming in from the Phoenix, so a large amount of extra damage there. I do like the idea behind, like you already mentioned, a lot of the mental games behind the Yrel. The extra armor, of course, on Tracer and on Phoenix, who is mostly shield-based, is absolutely fantastic, but is it going to be enough in terms of the efficiency in terms of play?
I mean, outside of that, the one thing that I also want to stress again, we pointed that out several times now, why we like this map choice for Roll20 and why we really feel that this is the type of play that might stress the bananas. But if you want to focus on this macro game, you have the Haka now. This is the big tool. You have a big map, you run a global, and you have a very mobile team as well with Hanzo, with Genji, and of course Anubarak too. So quick rotations are definitely possible. Already the pressure on the Chris, that's what we expected, that's what we were looking for the entire time. Guru will be the one trying to pressure him on his Hanzo. But the macro game is definitely a concern.
Robodoba!
Whoa!
Like, he's dead. He is dead. That was overambitious. And Gugursh even teleports away, runs back. What? What is happening? Quacknix gets the turnaround as Phoenix runs back in after already being home and free, and we get a 1-for-1.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade, but also they burned the global. So what Yrel should do right now is actually try and slow down the rotation. Murden is the one who's currently doing that. Well, strategy just watches him go. But okay, Urel is moving in, pushes him back, and now a few of the minions are going to be lost in through the tower shot. So a little bit of experience denied. So the trade-off still in favor of the Bananas. They get the 1-for-1 trade-off at the bot lane, but it forces the Haka to rotate down. And then once he starts to make his way up to the top, we have Urel interrupting the rotation, slowing it down, and therefore a slight lead in experience because some of those minions got already taken out by the towers.
Tracer doing exactly what you were talking about yesterday, in fact. It's just fine to use the pulse bomb for damage sometimes. It doesn't have to be a finishing move.
And I want to quickly stress that these interrupts and slowing down these rotations that we just saw and getting this tiny lead in experience is really something that is an easy play to execute in their own games. It, of course, requires knowledge of where the rest of the opponent's team is, but slowing down these rotations, that becomes second nature to really top teams because it adds up over time. It might be the difference of you having a talent advantage whenever an objective is on the map.
1-for-1 trade up in top lane. Urel being a little bit slower with hers though. And it is a 3 versus 3 in the bot lane, but Phoenix Arise making a 4 versus 3. Genji is a little bit slower, and Dahaka, he should have brushed Stalker up soon.
I'm interested to see if we're going to have the Divine Steed on Urel this time, or if it's going to be again the cooldown reduction, because this is another map where you oftentimes see those double soaks, and there is a chance that Ulf is just sticking with his build.
Juve channeling in once again. Shad is going to give it up. And Dahaka comes in for the intro, but he's a little bit too late. Robotoba overextending, but in this case, he will survive.
Yeah, the drag is still there.
Guru gets away. That was close. Hi, Urel's here.
Oh my god, Genji goes down, and that was a great kill by the Bananas. I could have seen him just trying to walk away, to be honest. After the channel goes through and they're stopping the Haka from getting the drag in, they could have walked away from it. But instead, they rotate down and even get a kill against Genji. Fantastic start into game number 6 by the Bananas. They get 2 out of the 3 shrines, and they already have 2 kills against 1.
No Divine Steed coming in here for the Urel, sticking with that cooldown reduction on the Avenging Wrath. So more armor, keeping Tracer alive for longer. Earth escapes.
Yeah. Earth basically trying to defend the camp as long as he could after they stole it away, and then also opening up a bit of a time frame for the rest of the team to do damage to the structures down here. There's not a really significant lead in experience, but there's a small one, and they're trying to hold on to it. More so important is, of course, the objective advantage that they have.
Yeah, need to keep that core health up. They're going to grab some mercenaries. They stole their opponents away earlier. So it's all about trying to put that pressure onto bot lane. Of course, the most dominant lane on this map. It's where you will see so many strategies of the map based around. Because if you control bot lane, you control the sappers. And if you control the sappers, you can potentially damage the core.
Yeah, and now we're having a pretty significant lead actually coming in through the waves that just got soaked by the Bananas that should be negated by the Haka soon. But you can already tell that he's missing out on experience. He's rotating to the top, but he's missing an entire wave there. So that double soak that we had for a short amount of time of Phoenix and Urel really paying off, and they're rotating down now. This is actually starting to become a little bit stressful for Roll20 that they're starting to miss even with the global hero lane experience.
Urel just sees Genji rotating in, just bops him into the garden, and Kukush turns around and blasts him into unexistence.
How many times have we highlighted this fantastic synergy that we have from the Holy Bananas, especially in the first 3 games? It was incredible to see how they are always on the same page when they make a decision. This is synergy that you don't even find on a lot of HGC teams, and I think this just highlighted it perfectly.
So here's what, like you said, the synergy and the reaction times. Whoever is the shot caller for Holy Bananas must have a huge amount of respect from his team, because the second Urel goes in, or the second they catch someone with Hanzo Dragon Arrows in previous games, everyone reacts. It's less than a second reaction time. It's so good. Like you said, we don't see this on some pro teams.
And now we're having them with an entire level lead, about to hit level 10. Question just is, what are they going to do with that huge advantage? Are we going to see them try and pressure structures? Do they try and make a play for boss? Do they simply let it go and say, like, whatever? Just, like, play around that and just enjoy the freedom that we have, because Roll20 will play a bit more passive to try and force a kill somewhere?
We have Urel, once again, with that cooldown reduction, is going to apply more slows with that Avenging Wrath. So once again, empowering the Purification Salvo. They don't have the Decade, which would have also been more slows. They chose the Malfurion because it is better with the Tracer here, but they still have synergy.
Bit of pressure at the bot lane right now, trying to go through that. starting to move in for at least the tower to get that with a level advantage.
Genji's at the top of your screen, though. He's ready, waiting for his opportunity, but he's going to back up. Pushes over. Just going to wait for his opportunity, but Hanzo completes simple geometry.
Okay, there come the 10s. Should be Extraction? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I was like, for a second, I was like, really?
Yeah, on someone like Malfurion, Extract's just going to be so good.
So right now, one altar. Single one.
Yeah.
Still the leading experience, but the Bananas are now forced into a fight on even talents. Robadoba needs to be careful. He had a couple of really iffy moments on Anubarak also in the last game, but especially after 20, he was able to simply drop the rewind and then move out again. So that's another one that we could see here. Wants to hit that late game, but for now, whenever he makes that engage and doesn't hit it, he exposes himself. And Guru has been doing well so far on his Tracer, pressuring those backliners.
8 core health lead currently for the Holy Bananas as Guru gets some assistance from Ulf in that 35 armor, drops some harassment, and then backs up. Dahaka doing what Dahaka does best, spending a little bit of extra time in the top lane, gaining XP for his team.
Zamani is getting some value here now, and that's going to be great. He's also rotating topside. He's trying to make it a 2-level advantage. There are 2 advantage.
Oh,
strike!
Nicely done, but here comes the salvo. He's used the deflection, but it's not enough to finish him off here as they're turning it around. Earth eats a lot of damage as Dahaka is now here.
Yeah, and Dahaka is immediately eating damage because Earth turned around with a great Stormbolt, but there's the kill against Tracer. Great move by Dahaka again. Well done.
Quacklick's able to get the finishing blow there, just dashing through. He's been so good with these executing shots. And with that, Roll20 begin to regain some of that core deficit.
Yeah, they're doing well there, and they're also caught up in experience now completely. Now, they steal even a camp away. Not really a lot of map pressure in the sense of bell towers taken, but we are now with all those turrets and gates disappearing, starting to enter a phase in the game where this is something you can threaten once you get 1 or 2 kills in a team fight. Good drag again against Ulf, but there's no follow-up in this particular case.
Not this time. Earth hovering around the area, though. He's just grabbing his team's mercenary camp. Anub thought about an invade, decided against it. Robadoba just rotates back up to mid lane.
But already another close game here. 3 kills against 2, 12.5.
Has there ever been like more than a 2? There's only once been like a 2-level deficit between these two teams. It is absolutely insane.
Alright, so 13. Closing in. Heavy pressure actually with the foreman right now from the Bananas. Rotating here and just waiting for Nubarak at some point to make the engage. As long as you have vision, they know... I mean, it's basically keeping vision of the CC. That's the most important part. I feel it for Holy Bananas is going to become a bit more dangerous once that white main reaches level 13, which is now, just simply because the harsh discipline can lock you down pretty hard. And that's, of course, another tool that Chat is going to try and rely upon in team fights and even outside of it. Another forced X-Strike, and it doesn't even help. He still goes down. Another kill against Quacknix.
Well executed here by the Holy Bananas. 4 kills to 2 in their favor right now. They are, if they're able to catch people out of position, then they're able to absolutely make incredible work done. Speaking of which, Chris gets taken out. 3
kills against Quacknix already. Now Chris taken out too. I'm actually shocked that they didn't simply try and go straight for that bell tower, but then again, there's no minion wave pushing in with it, so that's a huge issue.
Just going to trade the shots here.
Evenly, yeah. It's not a massive advantage that they got through those 2 kills, actually. They're going to try and get a bit more through this now.
Guru takes a couple shots here onto that wall, denying some vision, and begins attacking the bell tower. Sappers all make it into the bell tower, so weakening it down. Bullet spray being picked up by Tracer. Muradin in the cocoon, quick pop-up, and the
arrow misses.
It's easily sidestepped.
If they get the bell tower right now, that would be great for the fight, and they actually do. The cocoon is already over. The Stormbolt is hitting Azamani already. He needs to be careful in Haka popping the essence. The bell tower control has been taken, and Holy Bananas establishing a solid position through that bot lane.
Guru took a little bit of damage as he was overextended a little bit, but Juve already heals him back up. This is looking fine for the Holy Bananas right now as they have control of that bottom bell tower. The next altar phase is a triple altar phase, potentially. If they were to perform the miracle and get all 3, 15 core health off of Roll20, it will likely end up being a 2-for-1 though, so 10 health off the core is still incredible.
I mean, their position right now is absolutely fantastic. 5 bell towers against 3, holding the bot lane, which is the most important lane on Towers of Doom. in general, just simply because of these camps. One already taken by Phoenix now. You also have a lead in experience that will help you towards an earlier level 16. And Roll20 has a tough time engaging into this now. Half a minute. The Haka busy at the top side, trying to get some counter pressure going against the top right bell tower. But Holy Bananas, they want the 16 as fast as possible so they can fight over the objective with their talent advantage.
Okay, Hanzo's going to stay down in bot lane to try and clear out the sappers because currently no one was there for a little bit. I was concerned they would just let it through. Yrel heads up to her own side. Genji might try and interrupt her a bit.
If you get 2 of those towers, of those altars, you are absolutely fine. Genji is looking for the interrupt, and he's doing it. Genji's interrupting, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade at least for now. 3 against 5, and now the rotation to the top right side. In the long run, Bananas should be able to get this one easily.
Yeah, Roll20, they did deny the sappers though. They decide not to dive into Ulf as everyone from Holy Bananas was on the way up, like you already mentioned.
Big lead.
This works out beautifully for Holy Bananas. They're going to clean up the minion wave in top lane as well, and they still have people down here holding this bell tower.
There's also no bell tower pressure at this point.
Yeah.
They're not really losing any HP on them, and this is a big lead. 14 points on Roll20's core and 25 for the Holy Bananas. That's attempting to set up traps here, but Olaf is playing this extremely safe, saying like, yeah, boys, I'm not going to walk past these bushes. That is not happening. And he just jumps over, moves away. The 16 talent is there. They get another camp. The Haka, though, is using the global card right now. This is really the ace in the hole for them right now.
Right now, he's trying to get some pushing done onto that top bell tower. This is where he could try and get his team in a better position for the next altar phase. As right now, everyone else is stuck in bot lane, because it's a 5-man push with sappers. They're trying to get even more shots on the core, and maybe kills good intercession onto Chris, and that will save his life.
There's the attack. Cocoon already used for that
Dragon
backline. Arrow is nice. The Haka comes in, and that's a kill against Phoenix.
Finally, with the Dragon Arrow landing, Quackenix dropping low. He goes down as well, making it a 1-for-1 as Earth gets the armor from Ulf as they turn onto the Haka. He burrows in. The sappers are getting wrecked in the midst of this fight. One is still alive. They need to finish that off.
Yeah, another 1-for-1 trade here, but now in 20 seconds, more altars are activated. Now, this isn't too bad for Roll20. It's not too great either. It's this weird situation because the Haka got value at the top lane doing
they get this is huge. If they get this is huge. The Avatar is getting healed, but they get the kill. That is a huge steal.
Harsh discipline. Harsh discipline coming through and delivering this one. There's no fallback for Roll20 here. Very difficult to engage, but they have the numeric advantage. And now, of course, the attempt to get both of the altars. Whiteman already with the channel. That's 3 shots fired and puts Holy Bananas down to 22 points on the core. 17 on both sides. The Banana still trying to interrupt. Phoenix on the way back. So is Genji. Genji has to move through the area where the bell tower has been taken earlier. Cocoon bursts it down. They need to retreat here. They need to go. The bell tower is already taken.
Very quick blink by Guru there, able to back away from this. And with that, like you said, Roll20, they immediately turn around and recapture their bell tower. Holy Bananas waiting for Muradin. They grab some sappers while they know where Roll20 is.
Fantastic pause, because we need a moment to analyze this. So the first thing was, when we had that 1-for-1 trade, we actually had at the top side the Haka pushing in the wave. So that, like, I really had a bit of an issue with Yrel rotating down, because in my head it was like, what are you going to do? Yeah. What are you going to do in a 5 versus 4 that you can't do in a 4 versus 4 at the bot lane, just at the death zone? Is Yrel really the answer to push the opponent back enough so that you get those shots in? Because what they gave up through the rotation was 1.5 roughly minion waves that the Haka escorted in. Then the Haka bursts down, gets the first kill, and I was already, ooh, this is going to get dangerous. But if you get the kill yourself, and you don't lose the bell tower or anything, you're still in a position where you have an easy access to both altars. Would have been great, if not for Muradin face-checking another bush, and Earth just not having that little bit of calmness and experience to say, okay, that could still be a trap for me. If they keep Muradin in that play, that 4 versus 4 is fantastic for them, because it's so difficult for Roll20 to move past the bell tower into the middle. But then they lose Muradin, they lose both of the altars, that's 6 shots fired, and they lose the bell tower afterwards.
Absolutely, but in this case, like you said, Earth getting picked off there was a pretty big deal. And for starters, that Dahaka wraparound was superb coming in from Roll20 esports. Being able to make that play and land the drag was easily what was able to allow them to make that play in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it was a interesting decision from the Bananas to make that Urel rotation down. But it was the kill against Muradin that definitely fight. And now we talk again about pressure.
Yeah.
Earth let's just face it, Earth just screwed it up. And I mean, he made a huge amount of great plays before, but that was something that was definitely on him. He could have played safer. He could have thrown a Stormbolt in there. There was nothing that really pressured him. He didn't expect anyone to be there. He risked it. And now, how does he feel about that? Because it could literally be him in a position where he thinks, oh my god, I just screwed my team over. And if you then just question the next move that you make, if you start to lose confidence, that can ruin the game for you.
Potentially, but it could also be, like you said, it can be a mental thing of, this is a mistake. I've now done it twice in this series. I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah.
Just focus. Just face check every bush. Play hyper safe if you have to. Who knows? Maybe you land that lucky Stormbolt on that one Genji that's hiding in the bush and go, oh, neat, a kill.
I mean, again, I've had a couple of great games already. He
Exactly.
made great plays too. But it's just, these moments, they can really just like burden you throughout such a game. And now we're quite even. There's a 5-point advantage on the core in HP for the Bananas, where they're sitting at 19 compared to the 14 for Roll20. But in experience, in map control, we're basically at a dead even spot.
Stormbolt lands on Robodoba here. The Sapper's being guided in, but they're already a little weakened here. Ulta's still a little bit away, with even bell towers on the board. Big minion wave pushing in top lane, but Dahaka's already on the way.
Yeah, Urel, on the other hand, with the rest of the team busy in the middle, pushing another wave through here. All right, camp support now be taken. We have a bit of an experience lead for Roll20. Ooh, nice boss rotation, a quick one, and that's actually a perfect rotation from their perspective.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get this. Zarmany will spot this once he moves in, but he is way too late. He's actually going to think about moving in. Could get punished. Dragonara lands, but the boss is already gone. Now the question is, can they get out? Ulf is the only one left. Isolation is missed, and Ulf escapes.
Yeah, that was a bit of a forced one from Roll20 there. They were already later on the rotation. They were trying to at least capitalize on it with a kill. But even if the isolation doesn't miss and hits, I don't think that you can get anything out of that. That was a cool rotation from the Bananas. Good map awareness from them. Roll20 slipping for a moment, and it gets immediately exploited.
Dahaka going to be spotted by Ulf. He gets interrupted, drags on him, but a good knockout by Robodoba. Salvo interrupted by the Cocoon here with the Tranquility, keeping everyone healthy on the side of Holy Bananas.
Salvo going on the full cooldown here too, and here comes the drag again. Zarmany connecting that, but he is extremely low, needs to be careful. Once more, the root against Robodoba, and he's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble, and he falls, and he's not going to be the only one. Quacknix is trying to escape. Does he have the Swift Strike? Ooh. He doesn't, but he has an X Strike available.
Nicely done. That was Urel 1v3ing Ulf with the distraction while they were able to take down the rooted Anubarak. Fantastic job by Juf and Ulf there as they take the altar. And that's going to be 6 health on the core. That's 2 Sapper camps.
Yeah, that's 2 camps here. That's all that you need. And of course, they're taking the map control here, and they are trying to do that. They still have a situation where the hero that forces most of the fights for Roll20 outside of the Dahaka is missing. Anubarak is down. Can you capitalize on that? Can you try and make a rotation onto one of the lanes? Maybe grab that bell tower. They rotate towards the middle. I think it's just a play for the early 20 here.
Double altar is the next one. That's potentially lethal.
Yeah.
They're gonna grab they're gonna grab some more sappers. They're going to maybe try and get that bell tower again, but it's no longer that important for them because now it's just double altar or altar and single sapper and all this.
Holy Bananas, we're leading with a 3-0, and then Roll20 came back with a vengeance, winning 2 in a row and really starting to pressure the Bananas here. But now we have the red team again in a situation where they are trying to win it right here. Arrow comes through, doesn't hit anything. The Haka though, the drag, but immediately the intercession being used on the other side, or the Nature's Cure, my bad. Zarmany not getting that connect.
Great disengage by Holy Bananas with 2 Sappers still alive. They try to guide them in, but Zarmany's wave clear is too good. They clean this up easily. Next Sapper camp already available, but it's on Roll20's side. Holy Bananas will not be able to invade this, but they can just trade an altar for an altar and bring Roll20 esports down to 2 core health.
1-for-1 trade would be great, and you make boss lethal and you make camps even more dangerous. but that level 20 for Roll20 might just be the little bit that helps them to get even 2 here. They take the Storm Talons, and now already the Bananas with a defense attempt. They're taking the own minion wave here in the middle, but that's not going to be enough.
That's bad news. That's really bad news for Holy Bananas. It's immediately Roll20 just run into their own objective area. Finally, Yorel's going to soak them to 20.
Yeah, but that's going to be difficult to engage into for Roll20 one way or another. 20 is finally there now. The altar being fought over here, but still there are so many retreat options for the Bananas here. There are fountains on the side. The engage already happening. Juve trying to go for the channel. Avatar being popped on the side of Earth as they're trying to go in. Does he have the scoreboard?
Dragon arrow, dive, X strike with the isolation onto the Phoenix, but he's got the extra shielding, but he still goes down.
Phoenix goes down. That was well played again, shutting down Malfurion completely. Roll20 gets the kill, and that will also secure the altar. Roll20 holding on for dear life in game number 6.
And even more important, look at the bell tower in the bottom lane for Holy Bananas. A minion wave pushed up against that and just wrecked it. This is great potential for Roll20 to run down, grab this, and begin a bit of a snowball. Control this bot lane, prevent that mercenary camp lethal potential that Holy Bananas have hanging over their heads. Earth, he's getting deja vu, Nature's Cleanse, but he's still stunned. Unlocked.
Yeah, that was, from Juve's perspective, he didn't hit the Nature's Cure here. The stun doesn't get removed there, he hits both, and now all of a sudden we're seeing just staggered deaths on the side of the Bananas. Down goes Phoenix at the top fight. The arrow strong from Hanzo connecting, and the follow-up was fantastic. Now Muradin falls as well. That leads to the bell tower being taken, and Roll20, they are starting to gain momentum in this game. 6 points on their core against the 11 on the side of the Bananas, and still the 5 versus 4 advantage in the game.
It's another double altar phase. If Roll20 grab both, it's not technically lethal. If Holy Bananas grab both, it still is, with 3 shots coming in here. The boss, 8 seconds away. That is another big deal ready for the teams.
Yeah, and this is going to be a trade. They're going to take the boss, and the Bananas are going to reclaim the bottom, and then we're going to be on 6 against 7 hit points on the core. This game is back to being dead even.
So now, with that boss taken, that means if either of these teams get both of these altars, it's game over. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
You win the team fight, you win the game right here. Maybe we're going to see an exchange. Maybe we're going to see one of the teams grabbing an altar early. Muradin is back. Cooldowns are already. Not a single one is not in play for this fight. And again, it could be the last one of the entire game, of the entire match.
If Holy Bananas win this team fight and are able to grab both altars, then this series is over. Roll20 need a single altar to keep themselves alive in this tournament. Zarmony, pressured, but survives. They abandon top. Genji was capping it, but abandons it. He is needed by his team. He's going to start channeling. He's going to get it.
He's going for it again. He's going for it again, and he's going to get it for sure. And they're trying to make the play right now while he's missing. They're going for over. Free damage and burning the cocoon.
Genji's on the way, he's taken the shots. If Roll20 win this now, we're going to a game number 7. They focus Earth, who drops a very early avatar this time. He turns around onto Zarmony, but a quick intercession.
Intercession is already there. Harsh Discipline trying to use that. Juve needs to start the channel soonish. At this point, Bananas are down to 3 points on the core. It's all about that last altar right now.
They're going to run to the fountain. Ulf hovering around to try and buy them some time. Good use of the Seraphim to keep himself from being dragged by Zarmony here as Earth moves forward to zone them away. Guru and Juve both channeling with a bullseye interrupts Guru.
Yeah, they're interrupting it once again, and right now we have again the engage from Roba. They're going in deep, and there comes the contagion. They're going for Phoenix again. Phoenix is down. The kill. Roll20 eliminating him, but Genji's in trouble. Ace striking away, barely escapes. Zarmony trying to turn it around. He goes for Guru, and they get Tracer.
Earth is still healthy though, with Yorel diving forward, looking for Zarmony. They have no damage. It's all about tanking and sustaining through this in a 5 versus 3. Roll20 fight for their tournament lives. They take down Muradin with Shoof and Ulf in full retreat. Quacknix moves onto the altar.
There comes the quick cocoon. Malfurion is down, and this is game. Quacknix takes Roll20 to the 3-3. They get the tie. They drop the last hero. Yorel goes down, and so does the core. Roll20 pushing this series to game number 7.
They will not go down without a fight. They will not go quietly into the night. Roll20 taking us to a game number 7 for their HGC Pro Division life.
3-0. And then Roll20 realizing that today's the day, winning 3 in a row themselves and pushing it to a final map, into a best of 1 basically. What a final fight there. The kill against Muradin, so important. The staggered death against him after Phoenix died in the previous fight, super important. And then the control over the last final altar.
Yeah, Crackneck surviving in that final fight, using his level 20 living weapon. He got the X-Strike to kill Phoenix, and because he hit so many people with the X-Strike, he had it available for the escape. That's a combination of luck and skill, but it was amazing.
I think that game was really the one. The Bananas had it.
Yeah,
they had it.
They did. There's 1 map left.
And Roll20 was just like, no, throw everything against them. And Zarmany had a couple of such great engages on the side. To be honest, that last fight didn't start well for them. But then Genji goes in, gets the channel. I mean, he has the mobility, moves back in. And they just can't get the kills. And then Phoenix gets caught there again, and it's just like, even with your level 20 ability, he can't survive long enough. There's too many stuns coming out. The harsh discipline that we have as an additional lockdown on Whitemane plays such a huge role in so many of the kills that we saw on the side of Roll20. And now it comes down to a final map.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 tickets to Volskaya at Foundry, but only 1 ticket back. We will see who will win this series and earn their position in the European Pro Division after this break.